So what's up, everybody? It's JD, Jonathan Drew. We're here at the 2017 Connecticut Barn Smoker. I'm with my main man, Tommy Sullivan, and we are today discussing something very near and dear to my heart and to Tommy's heart, a very special limited edition exclusive size of Herrera Esteli called DeSocio. Thomas.
Thanks, John.
Thank you for being with us here today. For the entire Barn Smoker, you know how important it is to me. This is the right way to do it. You hooked up the big system over here, the rig, and this is definitely the best setup we've ever had. Not just because of the rig, but also because you're here with us. So
you and I, we still like to travel on the subway, but there's times that a little privacy is appropriate. John, I want to thank you. My family wants to thank you for creating a size of our favorite Herrera Esteli brand. The size is called the DeSocio. It's a 6x60, and the DeSocio name is my mother's maiden name.
Beautiful.
It's done in honor of my maternal grandfather, who was a huge cigar aficionado. He was an artist and struggled most of his life, obviously, to keep a roof over his head because of the Depression and being a poor immigrant. Making and selling art wasn't the easiest thing to do, but one of the ways that he celebrated life when he was with his family was to enjoy a fine cigar. And so when we do this, it's his honor. It's my way of saying that I've been blessed to be your friend and your business associate and to be in this industry. And we want to thank you very much.
Man, my pleasure. Let me say a few things. For a lot of you guys know me throughout the last 20 years banging around all parts of the world: Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Mexico, Brazil, spending over 16 years living in Nicaragua, and just being deep in the cut across the board. A lot of the parts and pieces that make Drew Estate such a great company are certain parts that you never get to see along the way, who are not in the ads, people who are there with us in the boardrooms or for calls when we burn up $50,000 of tobacco and don't know what to do, or when we need to borrow $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million from a guy like my man Tom Sullivan right here. A lot of those people, which there aren't that many actually, who are behind the scenes, a lot of the people who are part of the Drew Estate world don't really get to know all the time. So what's really nice about this moment that we're having together is, yeah, we're going to talk about the DeSocio, we're going to talk about that Ecuador wrapper, the Honduran binder, the Nicaraguan fillers that you and Willie Herrera blended together to come up with the brand, the front mark. But much deeper than that, it's really about the corazon, the heart, the oro, the gold. That's what it's really about. And for me, getting to work with Tom, who was always our official third board of directors when me and Marvin started the company, through all of the history of the hard times. Tom has always been there for us and been a cornerstone, a pillar of strength, a pillar of reference, a pillar of knowledge. His knowledge in the industry and experience goes much deeper than mine and for much longer than mine. So we've been blessed as a company to have a few, very, very few people around us who always were able to help us reach the next level and add to our maturity, because lots of times along the way we were street kids with we were street fighters. And Tom has such a refined background, starting off like us as a street kid, but developing his MBA and his CPA and the AAA discount and all of those kind of differences allowed us to be able to learn from all your experience, Tom. So for me, whether it's working on DeSocio together, working on Brixton Mash together, the Pappy Van Winkle, you were probably the first person to know once we got the gig. I called you, I came to the house, and you opened your closet and you go, this is what we're drinking right here. And you had the Pappy.
20 years.
Yeah, so for me, getting a chance to document this on video really means a lot to me. I got my dad here with us, and we got your cousin Neil in the car, one of my best friends, walk-in Chin. I mean, this is what family is all about,
right.
Which is what this year, when I went up and made the announcement on the Barn Smoker, every year I like to give a theme to it, something that's from the heart. And this year was really about family. So how appropriate is it that
not just blood family. That was the point that you were making, that we're fortunate in the cigar business. We come across many people from all walks of life that we would never have the opportunity to meet and share a meal, share a drink, share a cigar with if we were not cigar lovers. And that's the beauty of, one of the beautiful things about our industry. And I think that's the point we're trying to make to everybody today.
Yeah, well, it's multi-pronged points, Tom. You know, first of all, just our relationship, separate from business, separate from cigars. Just know when you have somebody who you can really trust, who's been where you've been, whether it's the hardest of times. How many times we've called you at, 11 o'clock at night where we need 80 grand the next morning when the bank opens, or meetings that I was going in for war, and you know what those meetings were,
Or how they could have gone.
and being able to be calmed down and with that level-headed, positioning that you're always able to illustrate to us. So that's part of it. Also, I think another important prong of this time together is being able to talk to so many people who love Drew Estate, so many people who have helped us grow in the broader sense and who believe in our products, who either started with Drew Estate and were still in their rotation, or later came to us for our more full-body brands like Liga Privada, Herrera Esteli, or Norteño, Underground, the new Pappy Van Winkle, Barrel Fermented, or the Tradition, and to be able to let people know about the accessibility. Where can they try this exclusive commemorative sub-brand expression of Herrera Esteli called DeSocio? First of all, spell it, and then tell them where they can actually go, such as a website.
Sure.
So a final consumer who wants to buy it, and then secondly, a store who wants to carry it.
Absolutely.
So let them know, man.
Well, DeSocio is spelled capital D, small e, capital S-O-C-I-O. And my grandfather immigrated from Italy, and he landed right here down the road in Naugatuck, Connecticut. That's where he first set foot and started to try to become an American. There's a very fine cigar store there. It's been there at least 30 years, called Stogie's, owned by Dick Mezzio. And Dick's store is going to be the initial store that will have the product. And he should have product in about a week. He had the original test samples. He helped us refine the blend along with some of his key customers. So in sort of honor of making that bridge between my family's settling here in this country, Dick has honored us to be the flagship.
One of my first years in business, I went to Dick
I know
Mezzio's
you
store.
He's one of the biggest Drew Estate supporters I've ever met. You would think that
I haven't heard his name in a minute.
I see Dick all the time, and he talks about that time like it happened yesterday. He has an entire section of the store just dedicated to Drew Estate.
What a nice guy,
Yep.
man. I remember I hadn't seen him in a minute because, I was living in Nicaragua for so many years. And whenever I was in town, I was with my family in Miami or sometimes in New York or at an event or something. But that would be nice to spend a little time with Dick Mezzio. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
he's a wonderful, wonderful guy, and he's a real pillar in our industry. But Dick's store will be the first to have it, and we'll leave it there for a while. It'll also be available on SuperiorCigars.com. Okay, and then we've got about 25 retailers that have agreed to properly represent the product. Much more than that, the run. This is only 500 boxes of cigars that were produced.
Yeah, it's very small production.
10-count boxes.
It's a very small production. 500 boxes for us at the size company we're now. I mean, it's arguably second in the industry. We were third. I don't know.
Sure.
I think we're moving up a bit. But for a company our size, this is one of the blessings that we have is to keep ourselves, even though we're a big company now, we're still in the cut. We still do small things that are from the heart. Not small things because some marketing kid comes along and says, you need to do a limited edition. If we do a limited edition with Tom Sullivan, it's a limited edition because it's a heartfelt product. And that's really the beauty of what keeps Drew Estate in the game, in that craftsman, small company, boutique. I always say, boutique is in the heart. Someone once told me that Drew Estate is not a boutique cigar company.
That's baloney.
I said, listen, bullshit. Drew Estate is as much a boutique cigar company as a company with 3 or 4 rollers. Even if we got 2,300 full-time, hundreds of part-time people, 100 people in the States, Drew Estate's as boutique as it can be because this is what it's about. I'm not here trying to speak in some corporate executive language nonsense. What I'm talking about is being able to speak from the heart as a producer. And every day we purchase our tobacco from the fields. When we buy that tobacco from the fields for your cigar, that goes into the container. It is locked. At that point, our tobacco. There's no sendbacks. There's no, we checked it in Nicaragua and there's a problem. We buy that tobacco. It's our tobacco. We produce our skill set, since we're not farmers at Drew Estate. our skill set at Drew Estate is on the production line. Manufacturing is where our skill, our core competency is at the production level. That's where I lived, in the factory. I didn't live around the block or go there once a month. 16 years, 14 years.
Right above the floor.
Right above it. So this brings us back to the core of what we really do from a standpoint of mind space. There's the physical, then there's the metaphysical. Working with you allows us to bring those two pieces together in an ultimate final product that allows us to speak from the heart and still deliver the quality, the taste, the consistency that a guy like you not only demands, but deserves.
One of the things about this particular project, John, just for people to know, this project was started before the Swisher family came on board. It's fully been a 2.5-year project, and over that period of time, I can tell you as a customer, you would never notice any change in terms of the professionalism, the dedication to creating something unique and different, but also keeping one's word. It could have been very easy along that transition to say, well, it's 500 boxes of cigars, we don't have the time for this. You know, it literally was a transition that, had I not known that the company now had taken on a new partner, a new relationship, we wouldn't have known it. The same people from start to finish, it was seamless.
Well, we love you, Tom. I mean, the bottom line is that we will look out for you. You know, we have numerous retailers, thousands of retailers throughout the country. Each of us have different relationships with them. You know, you're in a position with us that's very unique. You know, I mean, like I said, you were the only other board of director other than Marvin and myself, even though it was unauthorized or we didn't bring that to the public and stuff. You know, you've been there since the beginning, so this is not the only project we've done together. We've done the Ronin collection, numerous Ronins, even the Ronin Ridiculoso. Yeah, it was the very first, from the first 12 sizes that we released in 1999 in the acid line. One of them was a 60 ring gauge called Extraordinary Larry.
Oh, Larry, right.
Extraordinary Larry. But there was another size that nobody knows about. The Lex was a 5x70, and it came in a 10-count box, and I made about 10 boxes of it. So as I was making it, it was just using up so much tobacco and the whole thing, and everybody, no one in the industry was making 70 ring gauge.
They couldn't even dream of it.
But you could find it. If you look for it online, on the internet.
But if we search, right, if I go out there.
If you pay enough, you can find it. I'll tell you what, Tom. If we can find that Lex,
Okay.
all right, I will buy it.
Let's make a challenge today.
I'm telling you right now. If we can find a Lex, whatever it costs, $100.
Does it have to be a whole box, or how about just a
You ain't
couple?
gonna find a box. If we can find a Lex, one,
Okay.
I will buy it with Drew Estate money, and we will use it on Superior Cigars as a promotion for one of the box buyers of the Dissocio. You will randomly pick a person who to get blessed with that Lex, if we can find it.
We'll drive the box of Dissocio to their house in this fine vehicle and deliver it like Ed McMahon used to do when someone would win on the Fugazi Reader's Digest contest.
Those are big words. Those are big words.
It's a big challenge.
Now I'll tell you what.
The search for the Lex has now started. It's official.
Let's see if we can find it. It's all about that. So look, I know that you're going to spend a little time with the master blender of Drew Estate, Willie Herrera. Most of you guys know him, have met him, have seen him.
And we will pick this up again later.
How you spell that? L-E-X?